you're happy? I mean, is that how would you describe how you're feeling right now?
Yes, and also, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and working towards a goal, and like, there's like a quote we had this year, and it was like, it's not about the start, it's about the finish. So like, not looking at right now, like you're working towards a goal. So we're just pushing.
So does that apply to, hey, we won 14-0 last night, and we're scoring a lot of runs, but you got to stay focused.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because we were like in our huddle at the end. Coach, we usually do nominations, and Coach is like, does anybody have nominations? And everybody's just looking around like this is normal now, and Coach is like, you still need to celebrate these small things because like you're executing a lot of things right. So just don't like, yeah, it's cool that y'all are, it's like a normal thing now, but like you still need to remember like it's a really cool thing to be doing this at a high level.
Just take us through that. What kind of explain it to us? So what were nominations before? What is that?
So nominations, like at the end of the game, you like nominate people that you think did well in the game, or like what they did well in the game. So it's not necessarily like the outcome, is more of like how they got to the piece, even if the outcome didn't happen how you wanted it to happen. So usually it's like small things, like if Haji dives for a ball, even though she didn't get the out, like she still was tough to dive and get the ball. So it's like that piece, but it's like becoming so normal to us now that a lot of us just see it as normal now, and it's not like these are like great, but those are exceptional things that are happening, but it's becoming our new normal. So it's like you have to balance it.
So you raised the standard, and now it's like takes more to get it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. We're not in the huddle, so then they gotta figure it out. Right? Yeah, like speak to that. Like there's, when we talk to the gymnastics team, they're kind of, at the end of their season, but they talk about like, we're not learning any new gymnastics right now. We're really perfecting kind of the gymnastics that we're doing. I'm assuming you guys have done softball long enough that you're not really learning things in the season. You're really trying to perfect things.
Yeah, I do think that. Also, I feel like it's mental more so than physical. Like anybody, if you play softball all your life, like you can like compete physically. It's more like mentally being able to stay in the same spot, and like the first weekend you're so excited, so you're locked in and you're like so zoned into what you want to accomplish. But like in week 6, week 8, can you still have that same mindset that you had on week 1 to be zoned in, locked in on certain pitches, so everything to go how you want it to go. So.
Oh, we got chorus here, huh? Just like excited to show up. Might have to move our spot.
I was chatting with Taylor about Bryce, and he says he's coming up with a specific plan for each batter. Maybe not so much an umbrella for everybody, right? I mean, how would you describe the way he's coached these hitters, including yourself?
Yeah, I just think that like he gives us an overarching theme, and then you watch film also. He watches film and he helps like certain pieces of players, and then like I'm older, so like I watch the film, I listen to his advice, and then I kind of like mesh both of our plans together, and then the plan works. Now then, if it don't work, then you go back and talk about it, try a different plan, or maybe it's just like a small piece of it, or like did you swing at a strike? Most of the time it's like you didn't swing at a strike. That's part of the reason why your plan doesn't get executed. So it's like small things and not necessarily like nothing about your swing necessarily anymore, just like how to attack a certain pitch more so then.
Does the approach change at all with SEC play starting?
No. I think it's just based on per pitcher. Like each pitcher has their own niche, and me and him talked about this like in baseball. But like if a pitcher throws like a certain RPM, you need to be in your rise adjustment, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's about the pitcher. You just know to hit this ball well, I need to be in my rise adjustment to get the swing that I want to swing. If this person has a certain RPM, then I can take my natural barrel path to the swing and still hit a good ball. So it's like knowing yourself more so than like, yeah, you take the information that you're given, but it's knowing yourself to make the adjustments that you need to make.
You said kind of, you've played a lot of softball obviously, but do you kind of help the girls that haven't seen SEC ball, like as a whole, kind of get ready for this, or do you really just try to keep business as usual?
Half and half, because every person sees everything differently. So I'm not very well with spin, and some people are, and the righties see spin better than me. So sometimes what I have to say doesn't really help them very much, because all I say is see the ball over the middle of the plate and swing and the speed, and they're like, Danieca, is the ball a curveball? And I'm like, I really don't know. I just see me over the middle of the plate. So it just depends on each person. Like Sierra is pretty similar to me, so like I tell her the speed and I tell her I'm looking middle in or middle out, and it goes from there. So it depends on each person.
do you expect the competition, like as a big picture, like does the competition ramp up? Do you sense it from going from the non-conference to conference, like in years past? Do you notice it, or is that just mental too?
It's mental too, but for me, I think it's like kind of what you build in your own brain. Like, and Bryce talks about this a lot. Like, every pitch, every at bat should matter exactly the same. Like he says, like it's a black curtain, and like if you're up to bat and the bases are loaded, or there's no one on base, or like we're at the World Series, and when you take the curtain away, it should be the same feeling inside every single time. So I think that's something you have to learn, and even me being a fifth year, like I'm still learning that because in years past I like get all amped up, and I'm starting to get a little amped up, but it's like, wait, this is just another game, so you have to remember it's just another game.
Black curtain.
Yeah.
You tell yourself that? Is that the reset kind of thing?
Yes, it is the reset. Like bases loaded kind of gets me a little in, but I have to remember like, okay, nobody's on base, you just need a good ball, and it's been working, so just gonna stick with the black curtain.
Do you have a spot that you pick out too? Do you do all of that?
More so like what the pitcher's pitching, and then I pick out my spot. So like if it's middle in, I usually aim for right center field. If she's doing like super in, I aim for the scoreboard. And if they throw outside, I know I need to hit a line drive. So I kind of aim for like the tiger head piece on the outside. Or if it's like middle, then I just aim for left center gap.
Danieca, how much physically stronger are you this year? Is a significant jump from last year?
No, not really. No. Pretty much the same person that left that's back.
You're hitting 242-foot home runs though. Do you feel a little more power? Do you feel like you have a little more power?
Yeah, and also what I talk about with Bryce a lot now is like hunting pitches. And I think before, like, I knew I was a good hitter, and I just wanted to get on base. And this year was more about doing damage for me. And like, yeah, if I hunt this middle end pitch, then I can hit it to the scoreboard. But if I'm just trying to hit inside and outside, then I'm just going to hit my normal ball that I hit to left center field and get on base. So it's like being able to say, like, I want to do damage, and I want people to be afraid to leave the ball over the plate, instead of just being like, I'm just hitting me a single, and they could pitch how many ever balls over the plate because I'm just going to hit a single. It's like, nah, you're going to be afraid of me when I step in this box, because I'm going to spin that ball over here to this wall right here.
So like in the past, you were kind of known as a leadoff, speedy slapper,
Yeah.
and now you've kind of become more like a 3 or 4 hitter, huh?
Yeah, no, because I still am the lead off, and it's just different scenarios mean different things, like in the point of the game, what I need to do. And also I do want to play professionally, and so like singles ain't gonna cut it professionally. Like they like a big hitter, and my size, if you can look at it, I'm not the biggest, so I need to hunt pitches to do damage and not just up there swinging, because I can't get away with everything like everyone else does.
So it's just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
You've been here a long time. You swept Kentucky last year, but in the past, it's like runs against them have been very difficult to come by, huh? What is it about them, or what's the challenge of Kentucky this week?
I think they're a scrappy team, and they're really good. And I think also a piece of it is just like our mindset, like when we think about SEC play, or even like we were just talking about this when we play UCLA, it's like you think about like their legacy, like in everything, like you think about people's legacy, and it kind of makes you anxious, and you still have to remember like it's just a game. And as long as we execute every single game, things shall hopefully work out in our favor. But that's like a big piece. I think it's like you kind of like it's literally just in your mind, like you overhype things to be something that most of the time it's not. And you just gotta remember to stay calm.
That's interesting. Last time we asked you this question, you said team speed. So what are we not talking enough about right now?
I think hitting in general, like I think our offense has changed like tremendously. Like us hunting pitches, people doing damage, what they do, their adjustment, and being able to just be confident in their adjustment. And I think sometimes we used to like, you second guess yourself a lot, and just being able to say like, I'm gonna go for it, and if I'm out, I'm out, and if I get on base, it's amazing. And I think that's something that we've been doing really well, is being able to like make your adjustments in the cages and just being able to say like, I'm going for this and going for it, and it's working. And so like that's making it easier to keep going for it.
Does Beth give you a little bit more leash in that regard? Like she's not, I mean, you're not getting like punished for things. I've noticed that in practice, like they don't make you run, I guess maybe as much as maybe you used to in the past, like for those kinds of things. Does that help?
No, because to be honest, how I see it, I think they're a little bit harder on us
Really?
than past years. So it's kind of opposite to me. But I just think Bryce has made it like there's not a pitch you can miss. Like there's not a spot where it's like, I'm taking this pitch off, and I think that's the piece that sometimes we used to miss. It's like you kind of get passive, and you can't be passive. Like you always have to be the aggressor. So it's like now it's like it don't matter who it is. Yeah, we may be ranked number 4, yada yada yada, but it doesn't matter. Like you still have something to prove to yourself. It's not about anybody else. It's like we're proving this for ourselves, for our team, and for our coaches, and that's it.
How about the consistency?
Do last question right here.
You guys have one?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Just the consistency, I guess, that you guys are playing with. Kind of like you said, I mean, it's one thing to raise the standard, but like you guys are doing it game in and game out now. That's also a little different, right?
Yeah, I really attribute everything to mindset, and I think it connects all back to Bryce. Like, take everything else out of it, it's literally just the mindset. Like, our minds are like in such a like hungry place that it's like steadily going. So I don't attribute none of it to, yeah, we have made adjustments swinging wise, yes, but I think it's literally just like how your mind is choosing to perceive things, and it's all about how you perceive it.
Start of SEC play. It's different, but how do you approach it? Approach it the same? Or?
I think the same. Sticking to our process, keep playing LSU softball and carry it into this weekend. We're going to be playing, obviously, some really good competition for the next however many weeks, but kind of just sticking to what we've learned, what we've worked through to this point, and adding on to that.
Have you tried a message to Jaden to what she should expect?
I think we've talked through it all year, honestly. Just trying to help her, ease into this. It's a challenging section of the season, and just letting her know, like, everything's gonna be okay, whether you do great or have a rough patch. Like, just keep churning, and she's gonna be really good.
We just talked to Danieca, and she said really a lot of it was mindset. Do you feel a mindset shift on this year's season where you guys are maybe handling things better?
Yeah, I think I can see what she's saying there. We've put a real strong emphasis on having a tough team, having a strong culture of high effort, high toughness, and really being there for each other. They talk about offensively, like the 1/9 idea, and how we can all add to the progress of this team. And how all 26 of us have such a strong role in this season, and I think that's really helped us because we all really understand, like, we got to be tough, high effort, just keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's easy to define, I think, when you're in the box or you're in the field. How is that in the circle? How would you define toughness for a pitcher? Is it just the ability to bounce back if you miss? Because, like, you have to have that adversity to have the toughness, right?
Yeah, I think we see it kind of the same way. There's 5 of us, and we all truly push each other in the bullpen and learn from each other's mistakes in the game, learn from each other's successes. And I think just working on it as an individual out there, strong mindset, being positive, understanding that we have the defense behind us who have been phenomenal all preseason, but like understanding to be tough there too. And I think as we build off each other and learn in the bullpen our strengths, our weaknesses, just moving forward from that.
Has there been a switch, I guess, from not dwelling on the negative to, like, maybe accentuating the positive a little bit more in this team?
I think there's a real strong excitement this year, which brings obviously positivity. But I think we have the youth of the group really just brings such an excited power, I would say, and I think that's kind of been the difference from what I've seen from previous years to now. Is just we're so excited and so happy to be out here and so happy to learn, see what opportunities are brought towards us, and learn honestly from our failures. Like this team is full of opportunity, and doesn't really feel like we're going to get knocked down easily. I think we appreciate learning from failures and creating opportunity.
Attitude of gratitude kind of approach?
Yes, I would say so.
What difference does it make having Danieca back?
All the difference. I mean, her stats speak for herself, but her leadership I'll touch on. She is the leader of this team. Her knowledge, her experience, everything she has to offer helps us every day in practice in the games. But she really brings this team together, and she has that experience to do so. And it's just, I'm happy to have her another year. I really am.
And I guess you can speak maybe to her and then just the offense as a whole. I mean, she's slapping 2-run doubles now and home runs, and you scored 14 runs yesterday.
I just think the progress we've made as an offense. I'm not in there all the time, obviously, when they're hitting, but whatever they've created with their plans and their approaches, I think obviously is showing, and it's been a tremendous help, obviously, to the pitching staff, because with run support we can play a little freer, and it's been phenomenal. I love watching every single day they've performed, even at practice, but especially in the games.
You've gone against Kentucky before, right? Sometimes runs are at a premium, right, in these games, so makes you more important, right? Those kind of games you like to pitch in?
Yeah, I do. SEC time I thoroughly enjoy SEC time. I think being able to learn from previous years to this year, and even just sticking to my process in the weeks before, watching the film, learning who they have. Every week's going to be a good offense to face for us, and I think being able to pitch and learn throughout the weekend even is super cool.
How do you think you've grown from that offseason to now? Like, what are you impressed with yourself, I guess?
I think, honestly, the capability to keep growing. I've found a lot of failures to take opportunity from, and every single day I try and learn something new in the bullpen, whether it's watching film before myself or, just seeing where I can bring my spin efficiency up or my break points. But I think continuing with the positive mindset of to continue growing. I actually have that on my glove. I have it says keep growing, but just being able to move forward from every single thing, whether good or bad.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.